What's going on, guys? My name is Gio, and today we're going to talk about the disaster known as Google Stadia. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about, I guess you could say, another video that relates to the one before in sort of almost like a series of consoles that were disasters, starting with the Stadia game, which, if anybody hasn't seen my recent video, the Stadia game was a console made by brokebwoy that was very bad. And today we're going to be talking about Google Stadia, which was a console by Google that was marketed to have amazing graphics. It was more efficient since there was a smaller console and downloaded games. But when it came out on November 19th, 2019, it seemed like a new step for Google as it looked to cross into the video game market and try to top big video game consoles like Xbox, PS4, and the Nintendo Switch, which was the complete opposite of what they did, to say the least. I mean, for example, it was just a whole jumble of bad things that happened. But let's just talk about why people bought it in the first place, because surprisingly, people bought this one unironically. Other than the Stadia game, most bad consoles didn't get people to buy it in the first place, but Google Stadia actually had people buy it unironically because people thought that it was actually a good idea. But boy, would they be wrong, because Google Stadia seemed like it was better considering it was only $130 and it had big games coming to it like FIFA and other big games, which actually enticed a lot of the people that saw their advertisements. But they didn't completely show all the details in these advertisements, considering, yes, there was going to be different games and big games that were going to be on the console, but the problem was all of these games weren't going to be on it until at least 2021 or 2022. And as you could expect, the people that bought the console were upset and felt lied to, because they'd bought it for the big games and then got nothing out of it. Many fans wrote emails that were angry to Google Stadia. Some people decided to write articles and forums about how bad it was. And some people just straight up just returned their console that time. Like, I mean, I don't think there's really any reasoning why. It's pretty obvious. And Google Stadia video game reputation pretty much just was roasting over an open fire on literally the first day, and it kept on getting worse and worse as the days progressed and more fans were starting to use this console. It was just an immediate flop. So pretty much you had the problem where there was the games, like I said, that wouldn't be coming out until 2022, and then you also had another problem. Like, let's segue into the next one. Another problem that Google Stadia had was that apparently the people that made the console had never noticed, but there was a major overheating problem. What do I mean by this? There was constant times where the console would overheat, and then whatever you were doing would just freeze, and then you would have to wait for it to cool down, which could take a fair amount of time. And normally this would be okay if it happened every now and then, but with Google Stadia it was happening all the time, and people weren't having it, because people were just getting more and more sick of this console to the day. But some people surprisingly still stuck around with it, and some people still have it today, and if you do, I guess that's good for you, but I don't know. A lot of people did not want this console after all the disaster Google had given them. And let's talk about another topic, because there wasn't enough bad things about this console anyways. Number 3, the advertisements that Google Stadia had. Oh boy. For those who don't know, Google Stadia also did make advertisements, and they were really, really bad. And take this from me, because I got a lot of their ads when I really didn't want them, and it would always be something like before a YouTube video or when I was trying to get something done, where I would get their ads, and their ads were just really weird. Like, I don't know why Google thought it was a good idea to make some of these advertisements, but they were really, really weird. Like, in one there was a talking dog, and in another there was literally a guy stretched out in the shape of a boat, and then it flying through the sky with two people inside of it. Yes, I'm being 100% serious with that. Google actually thought this was a good idea. And then they would be playing music over it, and I'm pretty sure their spokesperson was like Reggie something. I think he's like on the Late Late Show with James Corden and he plays something. But he was not a good spokesperson for it, number one. And number two, all of their commercials, if you ask me, literally made you feel like you were on drugs rather than watching an advertisement for a video game console. And it would always just have like flashing colors or blasting music or some random topic that made absolutely no sense. Like in one there was an astronaut that put a pencil through a piece of paper that made absolutely no sense. And this was just adding on to the downfall of Google Stadia. And right now they've started to just settle down on the commercials and I guess stop trying to reach for more people because they know that they're going to need to seriously pull this thing out of the grave if they want to bring it back. And it pretty much just tarnished Google's reputation as a console and as a company trying to pass off video games, as most fans would buy it because it seemed like a good idea, and then just have it absolutely shatter what they were hoping for and completely just ruin what the fans had wanted. So most profits went down. It was like it went up on the first day and then completely went down right after that. Probably not as bad as some consoles or some crashes in profits, but it was not pretty. And as a result, Google Stadia is still alive today, but is an absolute catastrophe. And it started all the way from day one when it first came out. And they're almost sort of lying to fans mixed with their awful ads and their overheating. Just did not look good on their resume, and most people don't want their console today after that unless they're sure that something's going to happen that's going to fix it. Anyways, that's going to wrap up my video. Please consider subscribing, hitting that like button, and leaving a comment. Thank you all for getting me literally 27 subs in I think like a few days, which I'm surprised considering I thought I was going to get like 5. But thank you guys for that. And other than that, stay awesome, stay quarantine. See you guys later.